Now just before we start, I just wanted to go back and mention one thing. Does anybody else think that Jack's gun looks a little similar to the Super Nintendo Super Scope? I don't know, they look very similar, like this is just an upgraded version. Good day to you, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hypersonic55 and welcome to another film review, woo! And today's film review will be on Oblivion. Now I waited for this film for a great amount of time and I've been cautiously optimistic about it. Tom Cruise films tend to be pretty good, and you know, this is the second film from the director that gave us Tron Legacy. Now Tron Legacy, I liked that when I first saw it, but then the second time I saw it, it's just like, you know? So this is the director's second film. Is it good? Well, in my opinion, yes. I liked it very much and I'm going to tell you why in this review. So for those who are not clued in about the film's story, here's a brief synopsis. The film takes place in 2077 and the Earth has gone to shit after an alien invasion that took place 60 years prior to that. Now the Earth is desolate, it is messed up, and there is no human life on there bar two people, Jack and Victoria. They happen to be the mop-up crew that take care of the Earth and fend off the last of the alien invaders, and they happen to also be taking the Earth's vital extracts as part of an operation. And helping Jack, because he's the one that goes out onto the planet's surface all the time, are these weaponized drones. And he takes care of those drones because he is the drone repairman. And everything in Jack and Victoria's life is pretty decent. They happen to live in this fancy tower way above the planet, and even though things do get a little dangerous and hectic at times, everything is fine in Jack's life. However, his life is changed forever when he happens to come across this woman who happens to be in a sleeping pod, and he recognizes her from his dreams / flashbacks. And from there, her arrival happens to set off a chain of events that leads Jack into a position where he questions his past, questions what he's doing at the moment, and leads him into a position where he could be the savior of mankind. And that is the plot synopsis of Oblivion without going into the area of spoilers. So now we're going to change the basic style that we normally do our reviews in. I'm literally just going to tell you what was good about Oblivion and what was bad about it. Firstly, let's start with the good. Firstly, I thought the story was pretty good. It was a very interesting tale that this film told. There was a lot of interesting twists and turns, and as the story progressed after the first hour, things started to get really interesting. There was a lot of interesting themes going down, and I liked it for the most part. It was pretty decent. One of the other film's strong points is the acting. The cast is pretty good in the film, but the main two performances that people will remember after the film is over is Tom Cruise and Andrea Riseborough. Tom Cruise is still a badass. I don't care what anybody says about him. People hate on him all the time, and I still don't know why, because he is a pretty damn good actor. He still knows how to move. He can run, jump and gun and do all these action sequences, and the guy's 50 years old and a lot of other actors can't do that kind of stuff, so you know, more power to him. I really liked his performance in this film. It was very good, it was subtle, and yeah, Tom Cruise is still doing it. But the other standout person is Andrea Riseborough as Victoria. At least I think that's how you say her name. She was great. I saw her in Welcome to the Punch and she didn't stand out too much in that film, but here she was in full effect. Her acting was great. She went toe to toe with Tom Cruise in a very impressive way. She is beautiful and you could see all the emotions in her. She portrayed her character very well and I liked her a lot. She was great, she was great. Also, Olga Kurylenko, who most people remember from Quantum of Solace, is looking fabulous in this film. She looks great and her character was nice as well. I liked after she was introduced that we got to see a little bit more from her than what we saw at the first part of the movie. And also Morgan Freeman in the movie. I mean, anytime Morgan Freeman's there is great, so you know, there's no complaints. And also Melissa Leo as Sally in this film. My God, her performance was very, very creepy, but like, you know, it was very good. She did her stuff pretty well as well. And the last element of this film that works really well is the presentation. The presentation in this film is ridiculously good. It looks so fabulous. The world that's been created for Earth after it's been ravaged and destroyed just looks so beautiful, even though it should look really bad. It looks great. There's a great use of color. The amount of detail is so good and the action sequences are fantastic with the drones and all this other sort of chaos going down. It looks great. It is very good. And the soundtrack, wow. that soundtrack sounded very 80s for some reason. I was getting a lot of like, you know, was it synth-based noises and like, you know, some of the other use of the instruments with the hard-hitting pounding. It's just reminded me a lot of an 80s type soundtrack. And now for the bad. Now the film story is good, but there are a good few points where there are like, you know, a few things that aren't explained, so there's a few holes in the design. But at the end of the film, most of the ideas are all put together, but there are still a few elements that are missing. Also, the film happened to have me referencing a lot of films that I've seen previously, like WALL-E, Moon, Independence Day, and it was just like, some of these things were just like glaring to me. I could see like, oh yeah, I can see that from another film straight away. Two other things in the film that didn't work for me was Olga Kurylenko's performance, which was not as good as it could have been, and the fact that there is a lack of Morgan Freeman. Yes, before I said I like the fact that he's in the film, but he's not there as much as he is advertised. So in the end, ladies and gentlemen, Oblivion is a pretty good film. I've seen a lot of people bash this film for the lack of originality and the slow pace, and while that may affect some of the people that go to watch this film, if you're a little bit more of a patient kind of person and you let the film tell its story, and then, you know, you'll just be sucked in. I enjoyed the film. I thought it was pretty darn good, and it's probably my favourite film of the year so far. I still haven't seen Tron yet, so I don't know how that'll fare, but so far, yeah. Oblivion, good stuff. So I'm going to rate the film about an 8 out of 10. Some people may say, oh, that's too high, mate. Oh, well, you know, whatever. My review, so there. So what did you guys think of Oblivion? Please tell me, drop me a comment in the comment section below, and do be sure to go about and like, comment, subscribe, and join the revolution that is the Hypersonic 55. Woo! And yeah, be sure to go back and check out my Facebook page as well, and like that. And yeah, be sure to check out some of my previous reviews. And oh, so until the next time, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Hypersonic 55 saying peace out.